From BS and Beer Media, it's Top of the Bleachers with Jason and Tucker.
Smith coming right, trying to outrun the coverage, makes a cut, gets it. Oh, he's still going. Oh, look at it. He's going to score. He's got the ball.
Let's see what the guys are talking about today.
Yo. Welcome into the Top of the Bleachers. I'm your host, Jay, and I'm here with Tuck. And today we are going to break down some Arkansas UAB game and get ready for the college football weekend, man. Before we do, though, bam.
Sign up for that Yahoo NFL Pick'em. You can play against us, the guys from Top of the Bleachers. You know us. Everybody knows us. I think we're leading the league. I know it's just after 1 week, but we got the lead.
Yeah, Dale told me too. He said that you dropped your two lowest score weeks. So you get 2 weeks.
That was
2 weeks.
We went 10-4. So that was probably our lowest week. We'll probably do better than that all year long. So group IDs 33703. You just need the password NFL to join. I think you can join right up to like 5 minutes before kickoff. That means that you could probably start week 3 since you get to drop your two lowest scores. So you got probably till week 3 to get into this and still be even with everybody.
Yep, I would say so. Yep. So we lost the first game on our Yahoo Pick'em tonight. Buffalo came out and just put a butt whooping on the Dolphins. Yeah, I guess the big takeaway from that game is Tua with another concussion. Yeah.
I think
it's not good.
Man, I know that football players love football, and I know that it's hard to walk away from the game. And he's so young, but now would be a great time to just step away and go do something else, man. You got a college degree, or if you don't, go back and get a college degree, whatever, man. Learn diesel mechanics, but you're going to get killed, man. If you don't get killed on the field, you don't get killed later from that CTE that they're finding in people. I think at some point your health and your wellness come before championships.
Yeah. And this is like 2-3 years in a row too, man, where he's had a bad concussion too, because like we said, he was froze on the field. You know, that means.
It was really bad looking right at first. Now the guy got up and walked to the locker room. The guy is a stud. I mean, he got up and he walked to the locker room. But when he first hit, he had his hand all contorted, and you could see he was trying to concentrate to straighten his hand out, and he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I always think of Luke Kuechly, man, just sitting Indian style in the middle of the field, bawling his eyes out. And he doesn't even know why he's crying. He's just, it messes with your mind so much, concussions does.
Yes, it does. So, yeah, but anyway, you can get in the Yahoo Pick'em. And before we go any further, be sure and hit that like and subscribe buttons for us. You can find us on YouTube, Top of the Bleachers. We sure appreciate it. Other than that, man.
You can also find us on X.
Yeah.
You can also I don't respond to a lot on X, so you would probably have to say something to me directly before I would probably respond.
Yeah.
But you can find us on X, and you can also find us on Facebook. You just have to go to STFW TV or whatever it is. Sports Talk with Friends. That's what that stands for.
Yep. Or BS and Beer Media. Or if you want to leave us a comment on any of the YouTube videos, I will look at those and we'll try to answer any questions that anybody might have too.
You can also download the podcast and listen to it at your leisure anytime you would like to. You can listen to my sultry voice talk about NFL football.
That's why I show up every day. Anyway.
Anything else you want to talk about before we jump into this? You
Well,
telling me?
the NFL game got kind of boring.
Yeah, you switched over.
So I switched over because I saw Arizona State was playing Texas State, and it was tied up 28-28 in the fourth quarter. And I thought, woo, hey, we got a ball game. So I flipped over. And sure enough, Sun Devils pull it out. They get a field goal. There was a lot of back and forth in the fourth quarter, a lot of sloppy football in the fourth quarter. It could have been like, I think I missed all the good football. It was like 28-28, and then I flipped over, and it got kind of, sloppy there at the end.
Yeah.
But Sun Devils pull out another one, 3-0, baby.
3-0, man.
I may have to move them up even higher in power ranking.
Oh my gosh.
There was news today also that they got some takers for the Big 12 or the Pac-12. Right now, the Pac-12 consists of Washington State and Oregon State. Those are the only two teams in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
But they reeled in Boise State.
Yeah, I saw this too.
Yeah, that's the only school I can remember. But they pulled in like 4 other schools or something like that. So they're trying to build that conference back up. I don't know where I saw it. Also, news today, I saw that the Arkansas football field will be getting a little bit of a makeover. Now on the Arkansas football field, you will see the logos of Walmart and Tyson Chicken on the field. Isn't that interesting?
That is correct. I saw that too. I just hope they don't start putting it on jerseys or helmets or something like that. I hope they don't.
Dude,
like the fields and stadiums and all that stuff. That's fine.
If it means the Hogs being a better, if it means the Hogs being a better team, it can look like a NASCAR driver. I don't care, dude. We can put.
That's what it's going to look like if we're careful.
We can put Billy Bob's, Texas Roadhouse on the side of the helmets. I don't give a crap. Just as long as we.
I guess maybe the helmets, but not the jerseys.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't mind like in the NBA, they have the like little patch, they have like one sponsor. They have like Roku TV they'll have a little patch. I wouldn't mind something like that, but don't get crazy with it. I don't want them to change their colors to blue and white and they be called the Walmart Razorbacks. That's not what I want at all.
That's what people think. So I'm interviewing a guy the other day, and that's what Arkansas was known for. Boise Walmart. State, Colorado State, Fresno State, and San Diego State.
Bunch of states they got there.
It's the state conference. That's what it is.
I also, who was that team? It was like South Alabama, okay?
Yes.
Their head coach, who's their head coach?
Oh, I don't know.
Major Applewhite. Major Applewhite is their head coach and got him his first win, 87-3 or something like that. It was ridiculous.
I saw that. It's like 87-10 or something. I forget.
Oh man. Oh, sorry.
87. 87. That's ridiculous.
I didn't mean to throw that disrespect towards Northwestern State there. I apologize. And I had to look. I had to look because I saw Northwestern State playing South Alabama, and I thought Northwestern. So I had to look it up. There is a Northwestern, and then there is a Northwestern State.
See, I thought they were playing Northwestern too.
No, Northwestern State is in Louisiana, while Northwestern is in Idaho. No, Indiana, Ohio, somewhere up there. Somewhere up there.
It's north.
Yeah.
Northwestern.
Yeah.
Yeah, 87 points. That's ridiculous.
That is crazy, man. 87 points. I don't care who you're playing. We put up 70 against UAB, and I thought that was ridiculous. These guys are like, watch this, 87. They was trying to hit triple digits. They was trying their hardest to get to 100.
They probably were.
I wonder if that's ever been done before. I wonder if any football team has ever scored 100 in college.
I think the 87. I thought I saw 87 was the record.
87's the record now, or they tied the record?
I thought I saw it. I don't. I'm not for sure about that.
I'm gonna have to do some research on that one.
Also today or yesterday, I don't know what day they did this, but did you see Coach Cal had his fantasy camp where all the people came? Well, not all people came. They had a limited. I think it was 40, limited to 40 people. But
40 rich people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I thought about it for like about that long, and then I was like, "No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I don't care what it is." But it looked like they had a pretty good time. I saw Bobby Bones was there.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Played the game. Yeah, it looked like they had a good time, and then they had some kind of dinner or something, charity dinner or something like that. That night.
You kind of got that. You kind of got that Bobby Bones flavor going. You know, you got the black glass. You need some of them spacer earrings. Those things are so nasty. Why do people do that?
I don't know. I had a pretty big earring at one time, but not like that.
No, not a space. Then like, ugh. I'm like, do you know what you're going to look like when you're 80? Your ears are going to hang down to your shoulders.
Well, anyway, what else? So I saw Pittman named the captains for this week. Did you see this?
No.
TJ Metcalf, Jaheim Singletary, Isaac Tesla, and Devin Bale. Do you know who Devin Bale is?
Our punter.
Is he the punter or the kicker?
No, I think he's the punter.
Shipley's one of the kickers.
Yeah,
I think he's the punter.
Ramsey's the guy that missed all the field goals. I think Bale is the punter.
Bale's the punter. You're right. That's right. Yeah, he's the captain. So
he actually is. He's actually had one of the better stats on the team. I mean, he didn't even play in the first game.
I saw some people kind of making fun of that, and they were like, "Oh, we got a team full of captains." Yeah, so many of them that the punter is one of them. You know, like I don't know. They seem they're awful negative here lately. I'm not sure why.
It's just a bunch of trolls. You know, I always tell them the same thing. It's a state job. Anybody can apply for it. The next time that head coach job comes up, instead of bitching and moaning about who we need to fire and who we need to hire, why don't you go up there and apply for it? See if you get an interview.
They ain't gonna do that.
No, because they're idiots. All of them are idiots, man.
Anyway, so the Arkansas UAB games this week.
Yeah, you want to jump into it?
Yeah, did you see who their head coach is?
I didn't recognize him. I watched a couple of interviews with him. Who is he?
Trent Dilfer.
That was Trent Dilfer?
Yes, Trent Dilfer is their head coach.
What?
This is year 2. Yeah, I thought that was. I mean, I had heard that before, but
I watched an interview with him, and I never ever saw Trent Dilfer.
Yep, this is Trent Dilfer. He's the head coach. They went 4-8 last year. In his first year, they went 4-8.
Okay, I see it now. Now I see it. I see it. Yeah. That is Trent Dilfer. Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool in a way, but in a way it was weird because he's never coached anywhere else. He coached in high school.
Well, your name gets you a long way.
It does. It does. UAB's in the FBS school. You know, I think he'll get an FCS school job maybe first or something and work his way up. But
I mean, look at Dion. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, Dion. I'm sure Dion coached a little bit of flag football or something. Maybe some high school football, but
yeah,
he got the job at Colorado because he's Dion freaking Sanders, not because he has a coaching pedigree. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of sucks. It sucks in the NBA a lot because there are a lot of assistants that are riding the bench that would probably make good head coaches, and they get passed over for Jason Kidd or, somebody like this, Steve Kerr, somebody like that.
JJ Redick.
JJ Redick, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. So I thought that was cool. And then the other thing I noticed right away, the offensive coordinator is Alex Mortensen.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Yeah, I believe that's Chris Mortensen's son. Longtime reporter, ESPN reporter, Chris Mortensen from Arkansas. Pretty sure Alex was a backup quarterback for a few years.
Maybe that's why he's.
If this is the same Alex I'm thinking of,
it's not his daddy that I know him by. It would be the fact that he actually wore a Razorback uniform is the reason I would know him.
So you would see every game they had. There was always a story. Chris Mortensen and
was it like what's his name on the baseball team whose dad was the GM for the Kansas City Royals? Robert. What was that kid's name? Moore, yeah, Robert Moore. Every time he came up to bat, we had to hear about how his daddy was the GM for the Kansas City Royals.
Sort of, yeah. So Alex didn't get much playing time. If this is the same Mortensen, I'm thinking it is. I didn't research it any further than that. I just saw the name, and I heard. I was watching something. They kind of mentioned something about it. I thought, what if that's his kid? And then I'm not even going to try and say the defensive coordinator's name because it's crazy. Sion Taufu'u. Taufu'u. We'll go with that. You said you watched a couple of their games?
I watched both their games. Yeah, I watched their first one. They looked really good. They've got some speed. Their offensive line is not real big, but they're mobile. They do a lot of pulling. They do a lot of zone blocking, like everybody left. You know how you push the whole line left or you push the whole line right. They do a lot of that. A lot of bootlegs. They got a wide receiver on the outside. He's got a last name like starts with an S, like Slater or something like that. Anyway, he's got some good hands, got some speed. They got speed, man. I was really impressed with their speed in the first game. Then they went on the road and they played ULM, and it looked like a totally different ball game.
They're supposed to be pretty good. So
yeah, ULM put a butt whooping on them. Like a convincing butt whooping. It was like a 50-something to 13 or something like that.
The thing I watched, the coach for ULM got passed over for Trent Dilfer.
Oh, really? So he had a little.
So he went to ULM. So
I also listen. There's a little bit of money running around at UAB. I looked at their new practice facility that they got down there. Watched a video over it. Dadgum, that's a nice facility. I mean, as far as like the players, locker room, their community room, their film room, and then they built an indoor, outdoor practice area that's got turf in it, and it sounds country as hell, but it looks like a pole barn. Like the sides of it are open, but it's still like if it's raining or anything, you can still play in it. It's a really nice facility. So they got some money down there somewhere. Somebody's throwing some money at UAB.
Well, I would guess that too, just based on some of the transfers they brought in. They got some pretty good high profile players from bigger schools, from like Georgia Tech, Indiana, Ole Miss, Purdue, Georgia Tech. Some of the offensive transfers were from LSU. Their running backs from LSU, Michigan State, South Carolina. You said you was watching. Is their quarterback Jacob Zeno? That sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's from Baylor.
He
Baylor, so.
he had an awesome first game. The first game that they played, he played lights out. Yeah, mobile quarterback. He's one of these guys, kind of like Taylor Green. Like if you don't keep an eye on him, he'll get 15, 20 on you. Second ball game, though, I'm telling you, they look like a totally different team. ULM was getting to him. I don't know how many times the guy got sacked. In the first quarter, there were a total of 6 turnovers, 2 by ULM and 4 by UAB. So they don't hold on to the ball well. I think we can get some strip fumbles out of them and stuff like that if we're aggressive. And then he threw a couple of. He was under duress the whole time. I'll give the kid credit. He was under duress every time he went to throw the ball, but he tried to go long on one and ended up throwing a pick, and then he tried to throw a slant across the middle at one point in the game, and a linebacker picked it off. So just looked like a totally different team. I think they faced a better defensive front, and that's what had them discombobulated. And I think it was funny because after the first ball game, I was listening to the UAB announcers, the team announcers do the ball game, and I watched the whole ball game. There was one that was just the highlights, but I watched the whole ball game because I wanted to see their defense too, and I knew highlights would just show the offense.
Right.
So I watched the game and I'm listening to the announcers, and man, they are just, really into UAB football and having, this new head coach, and they're turning things around. And at the end of the game, they were talking about, that's a really good win. And now we can go to ULM and maybe pick up another win before we have to face the Razorbacks. It was like they already have a mindset that they're going to Fayetteville to take a loss.
Good.
And I'm like, wow, if I'm Trent Dilfer, I'm hoping my team's not thinking that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, after I looked at their talent now, because they had a lot of people transfer out and a lot of transfers in, and like I said, they got some high profile guys, or not high profile guys, but from high profile schools. You know what I mean? Like, even if you didn't make it at LSU, you were tried to be you were recruited there. Yeah, you tried to be recruited there. So I mean, you're good enough to do that. And they got several guys like that sprinkled throughout there. How their defense look? They look pretty good.
They're small. I mean, compared to what they're going to face in the SEC, they're kind of small. They got some quickness up front. I didn't see anybody on defense that really stood out. Not like on offense. Like on offense, their running back and their quarterback and one of their wide receivers stood out in the ball game, even in the loss to the ULM.
What is what?
What is ULM? What is their mascot?
Louisiana Monroe.
Are they the Warhawks?
Oh, that sounds really familiar.
Anyway, even in that ball game where they lost, those 3 players played well. I didn't really see Warhawks.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's in here somehow. I don't know how.
That's crazy.
But they look good. I didn't really see anybody on defense that stood out. They are gang tacklers. I did notice that. Like once one guy gets a hold of you, there's 5 more coming. They're gang tacklers. But no, I didn't really see anything on defense that would scare me. Not like that OSU game and that safety that was in on every freaking play. They don't have a guy like that. Okay.
All right. Well, that's encouraging. I think we're only like a 24-point favorite or something like that. I saw their O-line. I think they returned 3 out of 5 starters from last year's line. And then they brought in an offensive tackle from South Carolina. It was one of the transfers. So
I thought their O-line looked pretty good in the first ball game.
but in the second game, they were just overwhelmed. And if ULM, if the Warhawks overwhelmed them, then the Razorbacks should.
We should be able to, huh?
But they also have a week to, okay, guys, you're going to see something similar to what you just saw. So we need to fix, these problems or whatever. But I don't know if you can fix size and talent. I mean, that's just we just because we're in the SEC, not because we're just a studly football team or anything like that, but we're just bigger and we're more talented than they are. Landon Jackson should have a good game this game. And maybe we can get some backups in and maybe work on our depth a little bit in the second half of this ball game. I'm hoping. I'd also like to get that. I'd also like to get that backup quarterback in there, Singleton. I'd like to see him play a couple more times because I like the way he looks, man. I like the way he looks.
There's some good quarterbacks coming up that the Razorbacks have their eyes on. That Grayson Wilson kid out of Conway.
Yeah.
Kane Archer out of Greenwood, who's, I don't know if he's sophomore or junior or something, but he's nationally, like, they're national dudes are after him. So we'll see. Maybe Petrino might have a string of quarterbacks pretty darn good if he's around for very long.
The problem is that, say Singleton's good enough to be your starting quarterback next year. Okay. Now with the transfer portal and NIL money, you can't even guarantee that he'll be on your roster next year.
Yeah, I want to say Talon is a junior.
Oh, he is? Okay.
He's a junior, yeah. So he's going to have another year.
So I also saw this news. I saw it on X. So I didn't get this from Adam Schefter or anything like that, okay? But apparently the quarterback for Utah got a cut on his hand, and he's gotten tetanus. And he's going to be out like 6 to 8 weeks or something like that for this tetanus. That seems like a long time for some tetanus, but I've never had tetanus, so I don't know. I don't know.
But
Utah's sitting in a pretty spot, man. They lose their quarterback. And here's the thing. They're thinking about already doing the paperwork to get him a medical red shirt.
Yeah.
So if he came back next year, it would be his 8th year of college.
Holy moly.
How's that even possible?
That's crazy. Some of these guys have been in school because of COVID and all that, man. And
shouldn't that all have already worked its way through the system or whatever? That was like 4 years ago, or
like, only 4 years ago is the problem. We ain't got out of it yet. It's yeah. I mean, just think if you were a freshman that year, right? So you get, I mean, there's still going to be COVID guys playing next year, and probably the year after that. I mean,
it's crazy, dude.
Crazy. It's crazy. And with the nil stuff the way it is, why would you leave school?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either. You're going to pay me a couple $100,000 to stay here and play this instead of go get a job down at Walmart? Yeah, I think I'll do this.
Or maybe make the practice team on an NFL and still have to get a summer job or something like that. No, I would stay in school. I'd make my NIL money. I've never understood, like, people always point toward the money. Oh well, that's too much money. You got to go. And I don't know. I would rather be a big fish in a small pond than a small fish in a big pond. You know what I mean? Like when you're in college and you're a star of the football team, you are a big man on campus. Like everybody caters to you. Your whole, why would you leave that early unless of course you were, I guess, if you were going to make.
Yeah, because you think you could be a bigger fish in that bigger pond over there.
Well, you got time to do that.
Yeah,
you got plenty of time to do. You got plenty of time to do that.
It's going to be like free agency every time. Every time the portal opens, it's going to be free agency everywhere. It's nuts.
And you're going to have to convince your players that you got to stay, while at the same time trying to bring in players that you couldn't convince to stay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like it or not. We were only a couple years into it, and I don't know if I like it or not.
They need someone to just run that part of your program, because, like,
I'm sure they
do. There's no way.
I'm sure they've done that. I bet you it's not just one person. I bet you it's a team of people.
Yeah, I'm sure it is too. I'm just saying, like, that's a crazy amount of work, just trying to work through like 85 contracts or something, or however many people, however many kids are on the team,
Well, that's the part about this NIL money, though, is
not everybody gets money, I guess.
Yeah, not everybody's going to get some.
It's like Sam said.
The whole point of them, doing this name, image, and likeness thing was that so college students could make a little bit of money while they were in college. Well, it turns out, the good players in college can make a little bit of money while they're in college.
Yeah.
The rest of you guys, well, sorry.
Some of them are making a little money, but yeah, some are making a lot.
They ought to treat it.
And they're asking for more. These recruits. And, the thing, too, is these high school recruits don't realize is that you're not as important as you used to be. I can go get an older guy over here out of the portal that's proven he can do it on this level.
Yeah.
And he's worth more than you. Stop asking for $5 million, you punk kid. You know what I mean? That annoys me.
They just got to keep saying no. Once they say no, if enough, and that kid ends up in a junior college or something like that, the point will get across to him.
That's the problem. They don't say no. There's somebody that comes along and goes, okay, yeah, I'll do that, and it's like, damn, don't do that. But somebody does it. Somebody does it. There's a couple guys that reportedly got like $2 million or something like that out of the college basketball portal this last season. That was like the highest or whatever. Neither one worth $2 million.
No,
neither one. I don't know if anybody was worth $2 million, but still.
I don't know if this would fly, or if you could get recruits or what. But the way that I would like to do it if I was a head coach is, okay, I'm going to give everybody on the team this much money. Everybody gets an equal share. Okay. And then we got this pool of money over here that's sitting here. And this is going to be performance based. Okay. At the end of the year, the rest of this pool is going to be divvied up among y'all, depending on how you did during the year. Okay. So if you go out and you give me 20 a game and 10 rebounds, you're going to make some money out of this pool over here. All right. If you ride the bench and never get on the floor, well, sorry. You got a little bit of money to start the season off. You know what I mean? That's the way I would like to see them do it. Prove that you're worth the money. That's what you have to do in the NFL. You get that rookie contract, and then you have to prove that you're worth the big money. That's the way it should be in college. I mean, that's the way it is in any job. You have to start in the basement and work your way up. It's just the way life is.
I know, and they're asking for more and more, man. Reportedly the number one recruit coming out this next year, he's asking for $5 million.
Just go to the NBA. If you think you're worth $5 million, go to the
NBA. You can't yet.
Why?
They made the rule where you can't yet. You have to be like.
Well, they don't have that rule overseas.
I mean, he could go to the Australian Pro League or European League or something like that, but he's not going to make $5 million probably. I mean, he might. I don't know, but he's not going to make what he would in the NBA.
No, but shouldn't, like, NBA is pro level like that. You shouldn't make pro level money when you are not a pro. When you're still in college working on your game, you shouldn't be making pro money. I'm sorry.
I know. It's an amateur basketball, football.
Well, it's supposed to be, but once you hand them that NIL money, it's not amateur anymore.
It ain't amateur no more. Yeah, I know.
It ain't amateur no more.
Anyway, we got way off subject. Anyway, not a whole lot to say, man. Really, I think Arkansas is going to beat them like a drum.
And, all right, what's your prediction? Give me a score prediction, man.
Man, they just because of these transfers they got, it kind of makes me a little bit nervous, to be honest with you.
Well, I can tell you this, that they've got a good enough team, and they've got I've saw them return a punt for a touchdown, and I saw them block a punt. Okay.
Yeah.
So if the Hogs don't come in and they're not focused, if they're that team that plays Toledo and War Memorial, okay, then yeah, UAB is a good enough team. They could sneak one in on you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you come out and you take care of business like you did at UAPB in the first half of Oklahoma State, yeah, UAB is going to be wanting to get on the bus at halftime.
Yeah, last year they averaged 30 points a game on offense and gave up 36.
UAB?
Yeah.
Or Arkansas?
Well, UAB. UAB.
Okay.
So
I don't see them getting. I don't see them
about that, because I would think with Trent Dilfer there, the offense would be ahead of the defense because he was a quarterback and all that. You know what I mean? Like, I would think that makes sense to me. But I don't know. They need some defensive help.
Well, they play in a conference that really doesn't have any defense. I mean, it's an offensive league, you know.
Apparently ULM does.
ULM's got a heck of a ball team.
They're supposed to be good. They are. I saw.
Are they playing the Sun Belt?
Let me see. I don't know. National. Let's see. Yep, Sun Belt. Yes.
I see. I might take ULM to win the Sun Belt. That's only from watching one game against UAB, but I mean, they look pretty freaking good.
Yeah, I saw a thing they were supposed to be pretty decent. So,
and
I'm gonna go. I heard. I don't know. I need to check this, but I heard Northern Illinois, the team that beat Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
It made the top 25.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I might have to look now. Is that true?
Let me look this up.
I got to go to ESPN now. I was out of my app. Now I got to go back into my app.
Let's see. Rankings. Northern Illinois, number 25.
Good for Northern Illinois, man. Good for them. They're some sort of dog, right? Like a husky or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. The Huskies.
Yeah, I don't know how I know. I don't know how I know that, but I know that.
No, it's like the Salukis or something like that.
Yeah, but it's a husky. It's a picture of a dog, isn't it?
Yeah. That's the AP poll. The coaches poll. They didn't make the coaches poll.
Well, you know what? Coaches are biased. All right. I don't know how many coaches vote for the top 25, but I can guarantee half of them vote their team to be in the top 25.
Well, how are you going to be want to be above a 2-0 team?
Because you're Ohio State.
Because or you're Notre LSU, Dame. Michigan, Notre Dame, Clemson.
Because you're a blue blood.
All four of those are in the top 25 and are 1-1. Everybody else is 2-0.
Yeah. It ain't fair. I don't know what to tell you, man. It ain't fair. It ain't ever gonna be fair. It ain't ever gonna be fair. If I was the SWAC, if I was the Sun Belt, if I was the MAC, if I was any of these mid-major conferences, I would tell the NCAA to kiss my butt, and I would start my own league, and we'd have our own championship, and we'd screw the Power Five. The Power Five or Power Four. The Power Four can have their football championship over there. We're going to play our championship over here. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Because the chances of a ULM getting into the top 12 and getting into the college football playoffs, even though we expanded it to 12, is very, very slim. Very slim.
Yeah.
Like you got to go undefeated and beat a couple of SEC teams or something in your record.
You got to have a loaded non-conference schedule.
Probably. And even then they're going to put you in at number 12.
Yeah.
They're not going to put you in at 6 or 7. They're going to put you in at like 12.
We already know that at the end of the year, there's going to be number 13, 14, and 15 are going to have some kind of argument about how they're not in. We already know that's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the argument will already start. Well, we need to expand this. 12 teams ain't enough.
Yeah,
12 teams ain't enough.
It doesn't matter how many teams you put in there. There's still going to be like 2 or 3.
Do you know what year we'll end up going? We'll expand the football playoff again. The first year that Ohio State doesn't make the top 12, we'll expand the playoff.
Yeah, no. Oh man. Anyway, yeah, I think Arkansas wins. What's your prediction?
I'm gonna say
you want to score?
Yeah, you got to score.
Man. I don't like it. I don't like this game.
Okay, I know you've said that a couple times.
34-17.
All right, I went 45-10.
Okay.
I think that's convincing. And I think they get their 10 in the second half when we got our B team in. I think that's when they get their 10.
Okay. I hope so.
I think you'll feel a lot better after this one. And then you can get your nerves and anxiousness up about Auburn.
About Auburn? Yeah. See.
And then when we win that one, you can get your nerves up about Texas A&M. And then when we win that one, you can you don't even have to get your nerves up because we're probably going to get pounded by Tennessee.
Yeah.
And then I think we'll play LSU close. LSU probably beats us, but I think we'll play them close. And then we'll beat Mississippi State. We'll take a butt whooping from Ole Miss. We'll take a butt whooping from Texas. And then we'll finish out the year strong beating La Tech and Missouri. That's what I think.
Well, I hope you're right.
Now, if we can take one of those butt whoopings that I'm predicting and turn it into a miracle win, like a miracle on Markham or a Hunter Heave or something like that, hey man, more power to you.
Lane Kiffin is not won in Fayetteville yet.
I think he's got a pretty good shot this year.
I think so too. I'm just throwing that out there.
I like the positivity, but he's got a pretty good team this year, man. He's got a pretty good team.
All right, man. Well,
and a lot can happen between now and then too, because you're looking at, that's like the 8th, 9th game of the year. I mean, Dart could be out or, somebody else could be, there's no telling. So who knows? And I don't know. Knowing Lane Kiffin, he probably has a backup that's better than Dart. Who knows?
Probably some 5-star dude.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I didn't have nothing else, man. But before we get out of here, I want to make sure we bring up mental health. And if you're struggling out there, you can call the national hotline 988, and they have someone that you can talk to and get some help. Don't do life alone.
Yeah, and the chances that he's watching this probably pretty slim. But Tua, You get depressed tonight because of that concussion or whatever. Don't do something stupid. You pick up that phone and call 988. Okay. That was nasty looking. That was nasty looking.
It was looking. That was kind of bad. All right, man. Well, enjoy your Friday, and then enjoy your.
Yeah, tomorrow is Friday the 13th, or actually, I guess this drops today. So today is Friday the 13th. Yeah. So my plans tonight are the nephews are coming over, and we're going to get the projector out, and we're going to hang a sheet in the backyard and wait till dark, and we're going to watch Poltergeist. They've never seen Poltergeist before. So
like the old one, like the original?
Yeah, the original. I'm not watching it. Yeah. I don't watch remakes, okay? You can't take great ones and remake. I don't know if you.
Well, that movie's old now. That was like 1980 something.
I can't wait to see the CGI and everything in it. You know that one part where the guy, like, his face melts off of him? You know what I'm talking about? Like, he starts pulling the skin off. That's going to look so cheesy nowadays. You know, it's going to be like, oh, that ain't even scary.
No, it ain't going to be scary at all, probably. I don't know that. I don't think I have any plans for tomorrow. Saturday, I'm helping Steve move some stuff. So before all the ball games start. So,
well, Saturday I have to start my liquid diet. Yay! No, nothing but clear liquids all day on Saturday, and then Sunday I got to start my old clean out. I got to clean out the old intestines. According to my brother, I'm gonna see stuff I haven't seen since kindergarten. So, and then Monday I get my procedure done.
TMI.
Yeah, and then Tuesday. Well, I was asking Matt about it because I've never had this done, so I wanted to know what I was getting myself into. And this stuff that they give you to clean out and everything, I was like, how long does that last? Like, when I get done with my procedure and everything, that's going to be 2 days of not eating. I said, so I'm going to want to eat something. When I eat it, am I going to have to run to the bathroom because that medicine's still in my system or whatever? And he said, oh, no, it's the total opposite. He said, it'll be like 3 days before you even go to the bathroom again because you have nothing inside you. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. So anyway, that was probably too much information, but
we're talking about bowel movements. So what guys don't get together and start talking about that, bro?
Hey, you get to my age, you got to start getting stuff checked out, man.
Gotta be regular. Got to stay regular,
man. It'll make or break your day. Easy peasy.
All right, man. Oh, man. Oh, have a good Friday, man. I'll catch you later.
Love you, brother. Peace.
Love you too, man. Peace.
Thanks for watching our show. Remember to subscribe for more shows on the network. Smash the like button, share, and comment.